Hey everybody, good evening. It's your boy Montel. Good to see you again. Forgive me for not my usual jovial self right now, but I have something that I just got to get off my chest. And before I start, I want to give a shout out to Spoken Reasons. He was my inspiration for this, and I just want to tell him thank you, bro. I really appreciate it, and hopefully, I can continue to add to the message that you passed on. I want to give a shout out also to the Thompson family, and also to the Masons for this video. A lot of people don't know that much about me, and I'm a public person, but I don't mind talking about my life. I was the oldest of four. There was me, my sisters, and my stepsisters and my stepbrothers. But there was one particular guy who was one of the most important people in my life, and that was my stepbrother. I called him my brother. His name was Kenneth Mason, but everybody knew him as Duke. I knew him as Junior. And for the time that I knew him. That's all I knew him as. Everybody would say Duke, I'd say Junior, no matter what. And this was the most amazing young man. He was like any other kid. He would go out there and he wanted to be a basketball player. He idolized Michael Jordan. He wanted to get out there and he was good at what he did. He was a natural athlete. He was a natural leader on the court. Anybody and everybody in Indianapolis who played with him knew how good he was. And he wasn't bloated, he wasn't egotistical. He was a very humble guy. He loved the joking kid. He was loyal to his friends. He was loyal to family. And I loved him with all my heart. From the time we were kids, whenever I go to my dad's on the weekends from being with my mom, Junior was there and we would pretend we were playing Star Trek and we'd ride on our bikes all over the neighborhood, and that's what we did, and that was childhood to me. And I loved it. But all of that changed July 31st, 1996. July 31st, 1996, Kenneth Mason Jr. went to play basketball at Watkins Park and play ball like he always did. And he loved it. This was who he was. This was his passion. This was a part of him. I noticed I said was. That same night, two guys decided they were going to come to the ballpark and rob everybody and just be gangsters, be thugs, be whatever they were trying to be. I'm not going to mention their names because they're not important to me. As they were doing everything, my brother, they came up to him and he didn't want to cooperate. He always knew what was right and who was wrong, and he wasn't scared of anybody. So what does a coward do who's holding a gun, pointing it at somebody that doesn't want to cooperate, big and bad? He shoots him. He killed him. He was 24 years old. I say this because tonight I'm hurting. I thought of him. There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think of him. And I think of what he could have contributed. And I think of the positive influence he had on everybody around him and the love that he spread to all the people that were blessed enough to be associated with him. What bothers me is that you've got good people like him who are not around. And you've got knuckleheads and idiots and wannabes and thugs and all these people who decide that what they want to do is better, and they're still here. In my mind's eye, that's far from fair. That is not fair at all. Why does it that someone who is a good person, people out there, young kids who have lost their lives, who did nothing to anybody, either they were in the wrong place at the wrong time, or they happen to be a victim of somebody who didn't want to work for their wares, who decided that 9 to 5 was too beneath them, that they wanted the quick, easy money, that they wanted to take what someone else has worked hard to get. Why is it that these guys are still here, playing with God's time? And the people who haven't had a chance, who could have been a perfect influence, are not here anymore. This is a message to everybody. Cut and dry. If you're messing with God's time, if you're playing with time, you better stop quick, fast, and in a hurry. Because tomorrow's not promised to anyone, not to you, not to me, not to anybody. And to everybody who has lost somebody at the hands of someone else's stupidity, I am truly sorry. And I am sympathetic to you. Because there's a day that doesn't go by where I don't think of him. And you know, it angers me more than it saddens me. Because we've got kids who are losing their lives every day because they've got burdens put on them by adults, grown-ups, parents, guardians, friends. They are putting too much of a burden on these kids and we're losing them. We are losing them. It's bad enough that we're losing all of our loved ones to all these dummies out here, all these thugs and these criminals and everybody who think they're better and want to be hard and everything and represent whoever. But at the same time, we've got these kids who don't even have a chance to have a childhood. 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, on up. Who are placed the burden of being babysitters, teachers, parents, to their siblings, while their parents, who are supposed to be the protectors, are going out and doing all kinds of things. I'm so sick of seeing these stories of these mothers who are going and doing these things and they've got their kids locked in the cars. I saw stories of a mother who left their kids locked in the car because she wanted to go to the mall and get her makeup for 2 and 3 hours. I heard a story of a lady who had her kids locked in a car in winter temperature so she could go to a concert. The reason why I brought Junior into this is because he lost his life at the hands of an ignoramus, of a dumbass. But we're losing our kids now as well, not just because of these guys, but because of the people that these kids protect, are supposed to trust. We as parents, we as adults, we're supposed to know better. If you don't know better, then go to someone who does. Because what's going to happen, as I have seen happen, these kids are killing each other because they can't take the stress. Not only are you adults playing with God's time, but you're playing with these kids' lives. If you want to be a criminal, be a criminal. I can never stop you. My words may not have any effect on you. But to all you parents out there, to all of you adults out there who've got kids that look up to you, that trust you to protect them, to provide for them, to be there for them, you better get your shit together. You better get your act together. You better put your ducks in a row. Because if something happens to those kids in your charge, it's your fault. Because you decided that what you wanted was more important than what was supposed to happen, than what was necessary. If you're a parent, whether you're a mother or a father, you're supposed to take care of these kids. You're supposed to be there for them. If you are a figure who these kids look up to, if you don't want the job anymore, give it to someone else who wants it. And then step away and go do whatever you want to do. Stop playing with these kids and stop playing with these kids' time. Because these kids are God's gift. They are the next generation. If you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, then let someone else do it. And get out of the picture. If you don't want to be a parent, then let someone else be a parent. If you're not a parent yet, and you're sitting there out there having sex like it ain't no tomorrow, and you do become a parent, your fun days are over. Your fun days are done. It's time for you to step up. To everybody who sees this message, Understand that your loved ones are precious, whether that you gave birth to them or they helped raise you. Whether they're an uncle, mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, cousin, doesn't matter. If there's someone that you love, hug them, hold them, call them, text them, send them, even send them a message on Facebook and say, I love you. I was thinking about you. That goes a long way. And if there's someone on the street that you can say hello, how you doing to, do that. Because that moment might be what it takes to keep them from taking someone else's life. And be a better influence to these kids. Cultivate them, motivate them, give them reasons to want to grow up to be better people, to be better citizens, to be amazing people that can contribute to the next generation, so forth and so on. And stop wasting time. I want to give a shout out to Spoken Reasons, who was my inspiration for doing this. And I want to definitely give a shout out to the Mason family, to the Thompson family, to my brothers, Eshram, Nashawn, to my sisters, Odessa, Contessa, Betty, April, Janice, and Tasha. I did this for Junior. I did this for Duke. I love everybody in my life, and I will continue to be positive. I motivate everyone to be positive. Go look at his video, Spoken Reasons video, Time is Everything, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Much love to everybody. Please continue to support me, and let's move on with life. You take care, guys. God bless.